Okay, so this is part 2 of this video. This video is free, so you can share it with your peers in the other class. Okay, so basically what we have here, we read through this information given and we filled in what we know at this point. So the first question says calculate angle G1. Okay, so if you look at, okay, where's G1? There's G1. Okay, so G1 is the same as angle D2. Why? Because it is corresponding. Can you see that F there? But D2 is not known at this point. Okay. However, G1 is if G4 is vertically opposite, G4, that's not going to help us. We can work out this angle at this point. Okay, so G1 is also equal to A2 plus C1. Why? Because the exterior angle is called sum of two interior opposite. Can you see that? So firstly, C1 is going to be 25. Why? Because we are told those angles are equal. So 25 degrees there per piece. Alright? Then we can work out A1 and 2 and then divide it by 2. Okay, then we'll get this angle there. Then we can say exterior angle is equal to sum of two interior opposite. I'm just going to sellotape this pen. Okay, so at this point, we already laid our workout, so let's just write it down. So firstly, C1 is equal to 25 degrees. Why? Because it's given that C1 is equal to C2. Okay. Then we said that we're going to go with sum of triangles, so it's going to be 80 degrees plus 50 degrees plus BAC, which is equal to 180y. Sum of triangles is triangle ABC. Okay. So that whole angle there, which is ABAC, is equal to 50 degrees. It's 50. So it's going to be 25, which means to say all that angles here are equal. Yeah, should be. Okay, so it's 50 degrees. So we say that A1 is equal to A2, which is equal to 25 degrees. Why? Because we are told that A1 is equal to A2. That was given to us, given equal. Okay, then given. So then we said that therefore G3, where's the G1? G1 is equal to A2 plus, you don't have to write this one, but I'm just writing it there so that you can follow, is equal to 25 plus 25. Okay, which is 50 degrees. Why? Because of the fact that it's exterior angle of triangle. So the exterior angle of triangle is equal to sum of the two interior opposite, and it's the exterior angle of triangle GAC. Again, you don't have to write this, but make it a habit. It's a nice practice, okay, a good practice. And that is the first of 3 questions in number 3. Let's look at B. Okay, let's keep B there. In B, they want you to work out D2. So just put 50, you start populating the diagram. Why? So at one glance we can see what we have. Okay, don't scratch too much over the diagram. Okay, because later on you start getting confused. Right, D2 we said is the same as G1. Okay, why is corresponding? Can you see the F being formed there? The F. Okay, so D2 is equal to 50 degrees. Why? Because it's corresponding angles with FG being parallel to ED. Okay. Remember, when we use corresponding alternate and co-interior, you must state the lines that are parallel if there's letters given there. Okay, let's look at C. In C, they want you to work out E2. Let's just change the color here so we can. Let's go with the screen. Okay. So E2, where's E2? Yeah. So angle E2 is the same as angle F2. Why? It means corresponding angles. Okay. But you see F2 is also equal to 25 plus this here. Can you see that? F2 is equal to 25 plus 50 degrees. Why? Exterior angle of triangle. Can you see that? Of this triangle here. Okay. So F2 is equal to 25 plus 50, exterior angle of triangle. Let's write that down. So angle F2 is equal to 50 degrees plus 25 degrees, which is 75 degrees. Normally we write it at the bottom because of my space here. I'm just writing it like this. That is exterior angle of triangle, dot, dot, dot. And it's triangle FAG. Okay. Then, so that's 75 degrees there. And then we said E2 shouldn't be the same as F2 because the fact that it is corresponding, and we must say which lines we're using that is parallel. In this case is FG or FE is parallel to DE. So E2 is equal to 75 degrees. Why? Because it's corresponding angles with FG being parallel to ED. Okay. It's a nice question. I like it. Okay, now we're looking at number 4. Number 4 just says solve for x. Otherwise, information is given on the diagram. So you see where is x lying. Okay, so we say, okay, which angles will be equal to this x? Okay, so how can we set up an equation? So these parallel lines there. So this whole angle here is equal to 65. So D1 plus x is 65. Okay, so in other words, we need to calculate D1. So you look at D1. Okay, how can you calculate D1? D1 is within this triangle here now. Can you see that? However, in that triangle, I can calculate B1, angles on a straight line. Once I have B1 is the same as F1, angles opposite equal sides. Then I can calculate this angle here, which is sum of triangles. Now I can come and say, okay, that is 65 is equal to that angle plus x. Alternate angles with, and I'm going to put here an A. Why? Because I would like to name the lines that are parallel. Okay, so there I put the A there. So we say that BA's or AB is parallel to DE. Okay. So let's lay that out. So we're firstly going to work out B1. So we say, okay, B1 is equal to 180 minus 35 minus 65. Okay. So it's 180 minus 35 minus 65. So 80 degrees. And why is that 80? Because the angle's on a straight line. Okay. So we carry on. We say, okay. So there's 80. Then F1 is 80y. Angles opposite equal sides. And then I'm going to calculate D1 immediately thereafter. So F1 is equal to 80 degrees. Angles opposite equal sides. Okay. Angles opposite equal sides. Then I should calculate D1. So angle D1 is equal to 180 minus 80 times 2, or 80 minus 80, which is 160, gives you 20 degrees. Okay, and we see the reason there is sum of triangles. And it's triangle BFD. Okay. Then, so if that is 20, we can go with the fact that it's alternate. So 65 plus 20 plus x equals 180. Alternate. 65 equals 220 plus x. So alternate angles with AB being parallel to DE. Okay. Take a 20 over, so 65 minus 20 is 45. So x is equal to 45 degrees. Okay.